A mysterious rocket is about to grace us with its presence, and who'd have thought, by the way, that middle-aged colonists were the solution to all of our problems. Of course, it's a very temporary solution because they're middle-aged and they'll be seniors soon. And yeah, that's going to be a slight issue. But bringing them down in large quantities over the past episode or so has really created a windfall of additional colonial production, and maybe we'll encourage other colonists to apply as well. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Surviving Mars Green Planet in our Red Winter series. So yeah, this is the mystery rocket, and I'm kind of expecting it to blow up like a nuclear bomb. You land the mystery rocket and send in an investigation team. The rocket is unmanned. There are plenty of food supplies on board, all of which seem to sport an odd mutation. Thorough examination of the supplies reveal a potent disease present, most probably meant to ruin our crops. Had we landed the rocket sooner, we probably wouldn't have detected the corruption in time. Nothing to identify the perpetrators of what was obviously a sabotage attempt could be found inside the rocket. Guess we dodged a bullet there. Well, that sucks. Let's go ahead and turn off funding, and we're just going to have the rocket fuel up manually. We, of course, still have a meteor storm happening elsewhere on the map. Only 8 hours remaining, but it's been helpful to have that going. Let's go back up to speed 3. We have some colonists about to jump down. I will land them over by this dome again.
Resources are low.
Not seeing full occupation.
Colonists have arrived.
Good. All right. Once again, the low storage is popping up for machine parts, even though my machine parts economy is really strong. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But Dragon number 3 is ready to launch. Let's send it. Actually, no, I wish I hadn't clicked that. We probably could have sent that on an expedition of some kind. Well, there's not that many available to us right now, so I guess we won't worry about it. One thing we're still building towards is the ability to build the network nodes, which we might be able to do fairly soon because we're producing a good number of electronics, and as these new colonists take up jobs, including potential electronics production jobs, that might be able to happen a little bit sooner. And we'll finally have our mystery story up and running. Oh, hey, this RC transport needs stuff to do. Okay, it seems like we have a good amount of metal over this direction. Let's go ahead and do that. And go. Looks like a little bit more in terms of folks working in the electronics factory. We'll eventually need to have another dome here kind of connecting all of this. It's part of the reason we haven't fully built up this dome over here. But we still have lots of room in the Nike number 1 dome for people to work. And there are some students already learning in the school, which is nice to see. We have one building not working. That's still the infirmary. Tell you what, I'm going to make this infirmary high priority. That way we can insist that people work it, and we're not leaving our elders out in the cold. There we go. All right, that's a little bit better. Now, we are working currently on general training, which is almost done, and then we will get mega storage, which will allow us to build massive oxygen and water tanks. But general training should help our economy as there's less of a production penalty on people with the wrong specialization working in certain jobs. All right, so now we're going for mega storage, water reclamation, and then did that unlock anything? We've unlocked almost all the trees. Terraforming is the only one where we haven't fully unlocked everything. By the way, we are 15% through atmosphere generation. We are constructing, we're getting some lichen going here. We're not producing enough seeds to justify doing more in terms of the lichen, but yeah, let's go ahead and send Phoenix 1 back to Earth. All right, now we officially have exhausted our applicants. We don't have any more available just yet, but that's fine. The general training boost should be pretty good for our economy, I would think.
Sector scanned.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of metal. That's a lot of metal. That's really lovely. Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to change the order I just gave because I want to harvest that first. That's a ton of metal. And yes, there is a technology that will allow me eventually to do this automatically. I don't have the technology yet. Yeah. Don't have the technology yet, but we will soon enough. A couple of these need to be maintained. Don't know why it's not being maintained. Let's make the solar arrays higher priority to kind of wake the drones up. There we go. So we don't want those shutting down unduly. All right, so the meteor shower didn't really produce any new research anomalies, but we do have a lot of polymers over here and metals to be picked up now. So it almost makes me want to order a second RC transport from Earth. We're not going to do that, but that's a tempting thing to do, right? Have a second one to help collect stuff over there quickly. Our one RC transport has been more than effective enough at bringing everything to the base. We just have to be patient. But as you can see, we've got pretty good economy without needing all of that extra stuff. All right, electronics production has climbed a little bit. I think production across the board climbed as a result of general training. So it's good that we got that done. We have 4 people in the morning and 4 people in the afternoon working in the Hawking Institute. That's good to see. There are additional upgrades that we can get, I think, for research amplification. Maybe. That's going to be nice to have. Retirement age and death from old age happen later in the colonist's lifespan, but there's a breakthrough that we can earn, if we can find it, that actually allows seniors to be fully functioning and reproducing members of society. So basically, we would no longer need to worry about having a place for old people to go. It's not a guarantee, so we can't plan on that happening as though it's a certainty. But that's something that we can look forward to. Hope for, I guess. Let's take another look at our passenger situation. We do have room for 4 now. Tell you what, let's go ahead and reapply that filter. Because the next load of people I bring down, I don't want to keep bringing down middle-aged colonists. Now that the economy is fairly stable, once we have a full load of applicants ready to come down again, I want them to be younger and just able to live longer before they retire. One thing that I think would add a lot of narrative value to surviving Mars is a cemetery feature. I think people have modded it, but there's not really, like... I know it sounds kind of macabre, but, like, it's... Just having a graveyard out in the Martian soil, you know, where you can tell that people have been, you know, buried away from the domes. And that would eventually turn green as the planet terraformed. I just think that's an important component of the game that gets kind of overlooked. Right now, once your senior citizens die, like think about the founders, for instance. We got a notification a ways back, I think it was episode 19, with the last founder dying. And it's reads like a touching moment, but you don't actually see any place where the dead people go. All the dead people just kind of disappear. You don't even see them dying. There's no real experience of a colonist's lifespan. And I would love to see a little bit more in terms of the character of these colonists developed in future Surviving Mars expansions. Who knows? Maybe they'll do that in the next expansion. Maybe that's part of the plan. But right now, they don't really have that. Yeah, right now they just don't have that in place. You can see a pretty nice little lichen patch here. There's not enough development in terms of soil quality. Yeah, Mars is not sufficiently terraformed. So we need 10% minimum soil quality. in order to get grass growing. But it's always so amazing whenever grass starts growing on Mars because you can zoom in and actually see the individual blades of grass, and the planet itself starts to turn green. It's just a beautiful sight. Never ever gets old. All right, we're 94% of the way to mega storage, and we can build some much larger water tanks than we've had up to this point.
Research complete.
Oh, wow. So we've completed several of our mission goals. We need 3 biorobotics workshops in order to get 10,000 research points instantaneously. But by researching 8 engineering technologies, we got 20 workaholic engineer applicants. Yeah, we're going to bring them down right now. They're coming this moment. It looks like we're only getting some of them because some of them are probably middle-aged, I would imagine. Let's go ahead and launch this rocket. That's a fantastic addition. And with mega storage being done, I'm going to pause for a moment and we're going to look at, let's see, there's the large water tank and the large oxygen tank that can be built. So we're definitely going to build you. I like the idea of it being back here. There's that. And then the pipes, I'm going to need to get a little creative with this. All right, there's that. And then we also want an oxygen tank. We can make that happen. I'm all right with it being close by. It doesn't have to be in a very separate spot. So that's going to require a good amount of concrete and metal. But once that's in place, that's a lot more storage. Of course, that subsurface heater will keep that unfrozen. And this just helps to support all of these domes, the main colony, of course. All right, we currently do still have some outsourcing. Water reclamation is being set up now. That's a key spire that we haven't researched yet. Okay. Lake crafting, probably want to get that fairly soon, but there are likely still some technologies that we can get sooner that would be really helpful. Martian-born colonists graduate faster in universities and sanatoriums and have higher chance to gain perks from schools. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's go for drone printing so that we can finally build drones on the surface. And we do want that atomic accumulator. But now that it's kind of like the world is our oyster a little bit now that we finally are producing a little bit more research per soul. Once we have these engineers come down, jobs should shuffle around a little. And we might even get more research per soul as a result of people moving to more appropriate jobs. Engineers, of course, they work the buildings like the electronics factory. What they primarily need. Best workers are engineers. Same with machine parts. So, pretty big freaking deal. We have a cold wave approaching in 2 sols, 5 hours. Who's surprised?
Meteor incoming.
Oh, wow. That was an awful striking spot. So we've had a fuel explosion, and we lost a bunch of resources there. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and, now that fuel can be flown around, let's take a moment to hop between the various spots where fuel is kept. Yeah, we're going to say don't store fuel there. We can store it there. All right, that one I'm not as okay with. Because remember, The drones can fly stuff around as needed. I'm going to have them start moving the fuel away from those vulnerable locations. See, they've already refilled that to a large degree, but that was... I'm pretty sure we lost a good number of our advanced resources there. That was fairly devastating. Not good. This will be good, though. The engineers landing here, we're going to land them by the electronics factory, and then they will possibly go into work at the machine parts factory as well. And we can bring down a whole other busload of them after this one lands. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and queue up a new passenger rocket. Let's turn off the middle-aged filter. See, this is the rest of our engineers, and let's launch. And we'll have them land over here. That way they can help with some of the machine parts here. And that puts us in a really good position, even before the cold wave has had a chance to get started.
Research complete.
Water reclamation is done.
New colonists have arrived.
All right, we're definitely seeing some people hop into jobs at the electronics factory. Hopefully the machine parts factory as well. $2,000 research per soul now. And that's just with our outsourcing is starting to go away. We'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, we've got the cold wave coming in 1 soul, 12 hours. So I think it's time to go ahead and turn the subsurface heaters on. We need to get them maintained as quickly as possible. All right, that one is already running. The other should be running shortly. All right, Dragon number 1, I don't want you to load rear resource. Well, no, you can. That's fine. A little bit more money. It's not going to hurt anything. We need these guys to land, though. And soon. Yay! India will no longer sabotage our buildings. I knew there was a timer on that. One soul, 4 hours. Just waiting for these guys to be ready. I want to try and get Phoenix number 1 off the surface. Well, it doesn't really matter. So technically, we don't have to hit India back now. Good. We are producing more electronics per soul now. Can't really tell that they've come down to work in the machine parts factory anymore. They might work more in the small machine parts factory a bit, which is good. Are you set up to... No, you're not. So you just need to refuel and GTFO. All right, as soon as you're at like 15, I will tell you to launch. And you should be ready to launch relatively soon. We should have all the fuel that we need for you. It's just that we've told some of the nearby fuel depots not to stock fuel, so it's a little bit slower to refuel this rocket now, since we've said that we don't want this one to hold fuel. We could put a fuel depot here. That's one way to solve the problem.
Research complete.
Good. Martian education research is done. We're now moving on to deep scanning. Yeah, we finished all of the main trees. Love that. Ooh, the magnetic field generator. Decreases the loss of atmosphere due to a lack of magnetic field, so we're going to need that before long. I think I will go ahead and queue up lake crafting so that we can start increasing soil quality through just having water on the surface of Mars. We haven't done that yet, and I think it's about time to pursue that. Noticing we have a water shortage a little bit. Let's figure out why. It could just be due to the increase in the number of colonists. No, it's due to a much stupider reason. Can't wait till we can start burning off all this waste rock. Because right now, it's piling up very inconveniently. Alright, well, they need to fix that before the cold wave starts. Come on, guys. Let's actually have the RC commander come over here and help out with that. That's 7 drones added to this work situation. All right, good. Now we have a water surplus again. And these don't actually consume any water, do they? No, they don't. Okay, you can launch. Get out of here. Let's take a quick look at our Spire requirements and see about the network node. This requires 20 electronics, so we're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. And then we can start the chain for the AI. All right, good. Now it's happening a lot more quickly. God, look at them. There are buildings that eventually allow us to take all this waste rock and do something with it. We also could terraform as a way of just building a huge mountain out of this stuff. And that's one way to get rid of it. Not going to do that, though. All right, cold wave is about to start. We, of course, have already activated all the buildings that we need.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Nice. That's a research anomaly, too. Good. Let's go ahead and grab that. All 3 of our RC explorers, of our RC units, are just busy right now. It's good to see. And there's the cold wave. We've got 2 souls and 10 hours remaining in this cold wave. Just need to ensure that these buildings continue to run. Oh, what happened here? Ugh. Oh, no. That's terrible timing. Absolutely atrocious timing. Come on, guys. All right, good. Long winter. As you sip your hot Earl Grey tea, a weather update comes up on your monitor. It looks like our weather predictions were a little off. The cold wave will probably last a sol more than we previously thought. Our first priority is to make sure our power generation is in working order. This sounds like a good opportunity to run some survival drills. So, several colonists gain the survivor trait. I would rather several colonists gain the survivor trait as a result. That sounds fantastic. So now this cold wave is going to last 3 sols in 5 hours. Holy crap. It's the mother of all cold waves. All right, so we have gotten a little bit done here. So we're just going to have to be very careful with our energy. As a matter of fact, since I know that that's the case, no, we're not going to shut that off completely, but we're going to shut these off at night. So they aren't as big of a draw on our resources. All right, so we're still moving all of that out. It's taking forever. Oh, we definitely need to get that magnetic filtering in place. Haven't done that there yet. That's a relatively new Moxie unit. Don't have a lot of water stored here yet, unfortunately. So that this water storage is not helping us too much. It will eventually. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and launch Dragon number 1 with the resources it has on board. And we still have 104 vacant residential slots, so there's no reason to build more colony space yet. Let's go to the passenger rocket. 2 currently available, and that's, mind you, with middle-aged applicants open. So we're just going to have to wait a while for things to kick back up. All right, so our rare metals extractor is freezing right now, and I'm not sure why. I mean, it's unpowered. I can see that. But it's like, how is it unpowered? Oh, the polymer factory's been destroyed. That's why. Well, let's get it rebuilt. I didn't realize it was destroyed. I thought it was just out in the cold. Buildings destroyed 1. Okay, I didn't even see that until now. All right, hopefully this will... Good. All right. There we go. No longer frozen. Well, that's unfortunate. That's going to eat up some of the resources we were building up to get towards the network node. Because we're totally rebuilding that thing from scratch. Got destroyed by that meteor. I didn't notice. I thought it just hit the power line and I wasn't paying attention to notifications over here. Notifications in Surviving Mars, I mean, they're a little bit more... All right, good. We have deep scanning now. That's a huge change. And we've got a number of sectors queued up, but then we can just start scanning in the area of our colony again. So let's do that in the initial landing area, and we're just going to go back in order, kind of trying to find new deposits. Yeah, notifications, words, in Surviving Mars are not unlike notifications in Civilization 6 for me. They're a little bit better spelled out, but something about them just makes it very easy to overlook them. They just kind of pop up on the screen. Again, Surviving Mars, you have the added benefit of additional, words. So it's on the player a little bit more just to pay attention to whatever's going on up here and, hopefully spot when something big like destroyed building pops up. So that's on me. But I just feel like sometimes you miss things because they just kind of come up and they're constantly scrolling through. Same thing in Civilization 6. I feel like notifications sometimes you just blow by them because there's no text for those. It's a similar issue to me. I don't know if any of you feel similarly who have played both games, but it's just an interesting thing when I think about the notifications process in both games, matter of fact. But in particular for now, Surviving Mars. All right, so this polymer factory is waiting for fuel to resume working. Okay, good. I'm going to stop this episode here. We're at a good stopping point, I think. We're in the middle of this really, really long cold wave. We have 2 souls and 6 hours remaining. Once that's over, we can shut everything back off and then resume, hopefully bringing colonists down by the truckload. Because, again, we still have so many slots to fill. We've built a ton of apartments, and we just haven't brought down people. I mean, we could wait for the people to populate the planet themselves, but that would take a little bit longer. So still good to bring down colonists where we can. Now that we're finally producing a little bit more research per soul, even without outsourcing help, as you can see there, that's going to help a lot. Also, in just a few seconds, we're going to get some additional money so we can bring in more outsourcing help and continue just the flow of those smaller technologies coming in and helping us grow the economy faster and turning the planet greener bit by bit. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 1 p.m. US Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.